Hey, welcome to Mullen Stock. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications by hitting the bell so you never miss any of our uploads. And also remember that this is not a financial advice video. Now let's start. So today I want to go over the pre-market update for Mullen. So up 10.16% pre-market. Of course, I think in a normal circumstance a lot of investors would be very much happy. But I think we'd kind of learn to take things with a grain of salt, if that makes sense. It's been up plenty of times in the past and unfortunately just hasn't really panned out. It turns out to be negative 15% red. But of course I think today some things feel different. And what I mean by that is Dwayne. So Dwayne did actually speak to David, and there was a lot of good things that did come as a result of that. So it does look like David did insinuate that there is actual production happening of the M1. More specifically, he's saying that these vans that I did show a picture of, I think a couple of days ago, that are relatively new, or at least they've been moved in a new location. David is under the impression and stating that those are not old Elm's inventory, clearly meaning that they are new inventory. So potentially behind the scenes they actually might be starting the M1 despite no actual PR, nothing like that. So I don't know. That might mean something good. Of course, I'll leave it up to you guys to make your own determination because I'm not a financial advisor and I know some people's sentiment on David isn't necessarily the highest. So of course, like I said, take this with a grain of salt. But generally speaking, I did find this odd, the fact that they have started to move some M1 vans. I don't know if they're just clearing space. Maybe that was in Tunica where they're starting to have the M3 production. Maybe installing some components, something like that, who knows, but still there is a lot more updates. Does look like Chacha posted some pretty good positions. So plant procurement and production control and plant logistics. Senior manager. So both very much critical positions for obviously a facility to run. So I think it's good to see that these postings just recently came out once again does reconfirm that they are at least on track for production. But still, surprisingly, there is more. And I know one thing that a lot of people, including myself, have said in the past, is that David himself needs to put money forward. Of course, if we look at the Mullen insider transactions and based on this, David has never again based on this, never bought any physical shares using his own money. But what Dwayne has said, or at least David told Dwayne, is that he did put $50 million of his own money in the purchase of Mullen Tech, which is pretty impressive. Obviously, once again, take this with a grain of salt. Some people might believe it, some people might not. So I think we just have to wait and see and find out. But if this is true, I think that might be fairly good in justifying why there isn't any transactions and why he's probably not jumping over hoops to buy any shares. But of course, that's just my own interpretation. But despite that though, there is news that did come out. So Mullen announces moratorium on new financing for balance of 2023 and company has sufficient capital for the next or at least the next 12 months. So he did say that I think in March, if I remember correctly, initially saying that they have sufficient amount of capital for the next 12 months. And right now, they do have $135 million. So they are once again reconfirming that the next 12 months, they have enough money, which is pretty good. But again, I think that does have a lot of dependence on the whole M3 and also eventually the M1 production. But definitely I think this is a fairly good thing as well. They do reconfirm, or at least David reconfirms the fact that based on the cash, they have equivalently 0.38 cents per share. So again, just a little bit more of a discount right now. So this is probably what is giving it a little bit more of a bump up in my opinion, despite what shorts are doing pre-market. So I'll give you guys a quick overview of that. So short score is currently 82. Utilization is around 91 and looking right here, it is still on the threshold list. So it's odd to see it's still on the threshold list. But yet utilization is, like I said, at 91 but pre-market, they are increasing 6.6 million shares, so pretty significant. 57.23% of the free float is being shorted, and that's gone up like massively. Keep in mind, like I've said in the past, this in reality is probably around 52 given right here, because one factor that determines the short interest is the outstanding shares, and right now Ortex does have it wrong, has it at 243.57 million, versus the thing's 263. So just be aware of that. But still, at the end of the day right now, though 46.4 million shares overall are being shorted and cost of borrow average is 72.95%. So in general, I think definitely there was a lot of good updates coming from Dwayne and also David and Mullen. So I think a lot of people have to interpret a lot of that with the sentiment being so negative. Hopefully people do interpret That as a positive because, like I said, it is up currently 11%, but it has been up plenty of times pre-market in the past, and just it gets tanked. So it will be very interesting to see exactly how the day turns out. I think, like I said, a lot of good updates did come out, and I think based on what Dwayne did say is they want to, at least starting today, David wants to be a new CEO. So that might mean a little bit more engagement. So once again, that might be something for investors to really kind of look forward to. But going into today is just more of the psychological support and resistance points. So 15 cents and then $0 and 10 cents are the next big support. Vice versa, around the 20-cent range is going to be the next big resistance. Guys, that's all we have for you today. What is your opinion about Mullen stock? Get involved and let us know in the comments down below. Thank you for watching.